Hello. Welcome back to Cosy Coaching. I'm Sinitta, your step into her coach. Welcome to today's episode. I want to start off today's episode with a quote. So let me read it out to you. Human beings are works in progress that mistakenly think they're finished. I love this quote. When I first heard this quote, it kind of stopped me in my tracks. I was deep into my self-growth journey, trying to figure out who I was, what I stood for, what were my values, who was I as a person, who did I want to step into, all of those things. That's what I was going through. I heard that saying, that quote, and it stopped me because I thought to myself, oh, when I get to that destination, I get to my goal, let's use my cozy coaching, let's say my brand really takes off, I'm hoping in the next year it takes off, and then in the next year it takes off and I'm where I want to be in the next year, I'm only going to set myself new goals, aren't I? And then the person who needs to achieve those goals is going to have to grow, is going to have to evolve, is going to have to do some more hard things. You master one thing and then a new thing turns up. And that's why I think this quote is really profound, especially in the life coach, the coaching space, because we do think that. We think that we're going to get to a certain destination and we're going to be so happy, we're going to be in a much better place. But we get there and we're happy, we're grateful, we look back on who we was before and we're like, yes, we did it, we've become this person that we wanted to be. And then you get there and the goalpost moves. It's another step, it's another thing to achieve. And then you need to grow and evolve into the next level version of yourself. You're stepping up into that next space. You're always growing, you're always evolving. And I think that we need to live in that space a little bit more. Really just hold on to the fact that whatever we do in life, as long as we are striving to create the best life that we want, to go after our goals, as long as we're doing that, we're always going to be evolving. The only time you're not evolving is when you're just surviving, when you're on autopilot, when you're really just going through the trenches. Sometimes you just need to slow down. You need to take a breath. You need to just life, because life is beating you at all sides. But if you do not stop creating the life that you want, even in those hard times, also live life in the terms of having fun and not taking life too seriously. Like, life can't always be goals, but you're gonna want, you have that yearning, you've got that thing in your soul that you want. Hold on to that. So don't put yourself in a little box. Break free of that box, because you are not this confined little space. And I wholeheartedly believe that we are our biggest, worst enemy. I'm my biggest op. My mind will keep me stuck in fear, in waiting till the right moment. This is not quite the right time. I don't look the way I want to look. I don't have the things that I think the person who has this life would have. So I can't go on the internet, or I can't go to work and pretend to be this person. It's not about pretending to be a person or pretending to be the thing. It's releasing those invisible rules. Releasing these invisible rules. You have put that restriction on yourself because you're going on holiday and you want to wear a bikini, but you're like, my body isn't right. Who told you that? Why can't you give yourself a permission to put that bikini on? I remember the first time that I put a bikini on, I used to always wear a two-piece, but a tankini, so the top version, instead of a bikini. And there was one year I was going on holiday, I said, nah, I'm wearing a bikini. I worked my butt off. I was on a basically, if this was before I discovered 75 hard, I was doing 75 hard every single day up until I went on that holiday. I lost over a stone in that time. And no, my body wasn't exactly where I wanted it to be, but I put on that bikini, and I didn't need to lose the weight to put the bikini on. I wanted to lose the weight to put the bikini on, but my body wasn't where it wanted to be. But the way I was so proud of what my body achieved over those 3 months, that I was literally like, yeah, yeah. I put that restriction on me. Nobody was looking at me on the beach. Nobody cared that I was in a two-piece. I cared more than I did that what I looked like, what I thought others would. And assumptions make an ass out of me and you. Stop doing it. So take yourself out of that box. Think about something that you have wanted to do, but you have said, oh, I'll wait until then. I'll do it then. I'll wait till such and such does it with me. Those kind of things. Take that thing and flip and do it. Just do it. Release yourself from the shackles. Unchain melody. Unchain yourself and go forth and flip and prosper. Go and do it. And come back and tell me what that thing was. And tell me how you felt afterwards. Because I promise you, it's going to make you want to do something else. And that's where self-trust is born. So once you release yourself from that box, you can build self-trust. You can build your confidence in your abilities, in your life. You can create the life that you want to create. I think that is the most powerful thing. Once I started to release myself from the shackles of people pleasing, I didn't realize that I was the problem because I was people pleasing. But I also realized that nothing bad happens when you stand up for yourself. Unless that person's a douche, then that's a different story. I'll tell you the story about this thing that happened at work, and my manager put this request in for me, but I was going on annual leave in about 2 days, and this thing was going to take about a week or so to do. I remember looking at it for a couple of hours thinking, I don't have the capacity to do it. There were some other things I needed to get off my plate before I went on annual leave, and this just wasn't going to fit into that. I remember drafting the email saying, can somebody else pick this up? I'm going on leave in such and such day. I don't think I'm going to have time to complete it to the best of my abilities. I remember being so sick, so sick, because I always say yes. There's no reason for me to really say no. I'm a personal assistant. I'm there to serve them, in a sense, assist them with what they need help with. So there's no reason why I really need to say no, because the requests come in as they come in. Anyways, I pressed send, and I just remember feeling so ill. I remember feeling, she's going to be so annoyed. She's going to be so mad. How am I going to deal with it? So I started thinking about, how I'm going to come back if she says, no, I really need you to do this. Can you start it and then hand it over? Because I didn't even have capacity to even start it. And she came back in about 5 seconds. And I remember looking at the email thinking, here we go. Opened up that email. What did it say? Okay, yeah, that's fine. My jaw was on the floor. I've never said no before. My jaw was on the floor. I remember saying to myself, is this how easy it is? I was like that, like, that's how easy it is. That was how easy it was. It seems very small and insignificant, but that started my process. That first get me over that hurdle, that first thing to reclaim me, that was me. That was it. I took hold of people pleasing, and I was like, if this is how easy it is to have a conversation just by email, okay, maybe it might be more difficult in person, but let's put it to the side. that was good. I buzzed off that for ages, and it had a snowball effect. I continued down that path of being assertive, giving the reasons why, stepping up a little bit more, making my voice heard, and it felt seriously so freeing that I just wanted to continue. It's really important to bask in those wins when you have them, because it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, done that, tick, on to the next thing. Reflect on it. Wow, how did you feel? Putting it in writing helps you to come back to it. So whenever there's a time when you're feeling uncomfortable in that tough situation that you're in, go back to how you felt when you stood up for yourself, or you came back and you promoted yourself, or you told them the reasons why you wanted that promotion, or whatever it is, you promoted yourself to that brand, whatever that looks like for you. Remember it, come back to it. It's a great healing moment. Especially, you don't need to do it every single time, you can, but even that very first time, lock that in. That is gonna be your golden nugget of growth journaling that you'll have. I want to talk about how to embrace change. I've always been a person that I'm not good with change. Don't change things. If things have worked a way in the past, why are we changing it? Things like that really knock me off kilter. Something that I've really had to learn, change is good, and change doesn't always mean bad. Sometimes doing things one way is great, but someone will come in with a better, efficient way to do it. Try it out, see how it works. Give your opinion. It's hard to give your opinion and say you don't like something and that change isn't good when you haven't even tried it. I use that all the time with my children, especially when it comes to food. Have you tried it? Oh, I don't like that. Have you tried it? Oh, I don't like the look of it. Have you tried it? Your taste buds, no. You know those things that change can be hard, and I know it's really hard, and I know they say in older years, right, you can't change an old dog. Well, yes, we can. We can learn to embrace change. We can learn to be a higher version of ourselves. So the first way is to have a growth mindset. Skills and your mind can grow over time if you feed it enough. I'll give you an example back. You're probably sick of this example if you've been around the last 6 months. But I started swimming at the start of the year. I found it so hard. Let me just paint the picture. I can't swim. I like being in the water, in the swimming pool, but I couldn't swim. I could probably just about do that. I'm not that confident. If I'm going to be in the water, my head's not going in. I'm going to be up to here. Up to here is about where we're going. As long as I can feel the floor, that's as far as we're going. I don't need to go any further. The deep end of the swimming pool would not see me. I do have some childhood trauma when I jumped into a swimming pool not knowing it was the deep end, expecting to feel the floor, didn't feel the floor, and had to be rescued with what's those life things, those circle life things had to be thrown into the pool for me. So it stems from there. But this year I took that fear, and I turned it into excitement, into possibility. What could happen if I tried? I love watching my kids swim. I can't save them if anything happened to them in the pool. I need to build up that confidence again. 6 months down the line, I'm swimming length. I know how to breathe. I can go in the deep end. I can tread water. The fact that I even tried, I got into the water, and the first couple of months I would only go halfway. I wouldn't even go to the deep end. It was 2 months into my new, because I have had 2 instructors, but two sessions, in 2 or 3 sessions I think into my session with my new instructor, she was like, let me teach you how to tread water. And that's what we did. And she kept me really comfortable. She showed me what to do. There was a little ledge I could hold on to. And from then, I am the most confident that I've ever been in the water in my entire life. So skills can develop as long as you have that growth mindset, that if you pick up a book or you start researching a topic that you're really interested, that over time consistency will compound into that knowledge, and those skills will grow, and it will expand. But if you're not doing anything, no shade, if you're sat there watching reality TV, unless your job is reality TV, what's that feeding your brain? What's that doing? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't watch reality TV or don't watch those things, but have you fed your mind? That's really, really important. Like, feed your mind, build those skills. If you think you can't do something, prove yourself wrong. Be your worst best op out there. Say you're gonna do this mad thing and go and do it. Have a growth mindset is definitely key to embracing change and make it a little bit more easier. If you reframe what you think is stopping you or scaring you, or that you won't learn it or you can't do it. I really want to speak in front of people. I've been doing a communication course recently, so my speaking might feel a little bit just disjointed at the moment, because I'm practicing some of the things that I've learned so I can become a better speaker. I'm watching more things on people speaking, and I'm picking up how they're talking. I'm picking up those little nuances in tone and speed and pausing, all of those things. So I'm practicing. So I might sound a little robotic, but I'm trying to really practice that communication so that I can be that speaker that I really, really want, and that's on my goals to do. I need to be practicing. The second thing I'll say, expect life changes. Expect yourself to evolve, to want new things, to want different things. Your first thought about something won't be your last thought about that thing. You're always going to grow. You're always going to learn new things, better interpretations. So don't ever think that you're going one direction and then you failed in any kind of way. I always use this example with relationships, that I see people will split up and they'll be like, oh, I've wasted 5 years of my life. I don't think in my opinion, you haven't wasted 5 years. You've learned, grown, things have happened, you've changed, they've changed. So many things have happened. When you first started that relationship, you're not the same as the end of the relationship. So what have you learned about yourself? What have you changed? What has been better? Something might have been worse, but what have you learned from that worst thing? You've learned that if it was a bad breakup, you've learned that that's not the type of person that you want to be. If it was an amicable breakup, we grew up, we went in different directions. It happens all the time, and I don't ever think it's wasted time. If you think of life as wasted time, what are we doing? I would say that is it. You've not wasted anything. You can change whenever you feel like it. You just need to have a growth mindset. Can you change it? I didn't start this year. Well, to be fair, I started this year. I didn't start off here as a coach. That wasn't my path. When I first started to really start taking action and move with my life, I had another business, a virtual assistant business, that I thought that that's what was going to be my end goal. That's what I was going to do. It's similar to my current job, but it's working for myself. It's easily transferable. But the more I went into self-growth, the more I learned about myself, this is where the coaching just kept on pulling, kept me like, come here, girl. That's what I did. I let it pull me. And that came from doing things, learning, growing, doing more self-growth work, podcasts, books, all of that things. All that great stuff. Learning about myself, journaling, pouring into myself. What is it that I like? Knowing that I am important in this game. So life can change. Like, expect life changes. Expect yourself to go in different direction. Doors may close and you'll need to go in a different direction. And that brings me perfectly on to the next point. Is to reframe growth and how you look at it. I want to use the example of career. You may have put yourself forward for a promotion, didn't get the promotion, even though you know out of all the candidates, you were the most qualified. You've been in the business a while. You've done all the research, you've done all the backstory, you even know the manager, but that still didn't get you the promotion because they didn't think you were the right fit. They think they need to bring somebody from outside in. That would be a blow to you. And of course, it's allowed to be a blow to you in the beginning, but don't sit on it too much, because I wholeheartedly again believe that when one door closes and now there's opening, imagine that door closed. A month later, a higher position in a different company has come up with more money, more flexibility, more benefits. You were the right fit for that one. If you reverse it and say that door opened for you, you got in, and then a month later you saw that job, you might be hesitant to go for that job. You might feel, oh, I've just got this job. They believe in me. I've been in this business a long time. And it could have stopped your blessing of getting that job. You see? So if you can reframe how growth looks like, or what the direction you're going, you'll go much further, and life will feel a little bit more easier when you can reframe things. I want to use the example as well. I love a good example, me, but I like to bring it back to myself so that I think a lot of sometimes coaches don't bring things back to themselves, and I find it hard to connect and relate to them in that way. So I always try to bring things back to myself so I can give real life examples, because it's easy to go and say the thing, the goal, the dream. Give me some examples of those things so I can I can see if that's something for me. But anyways, last year my mum passed away. And yes, I was sad. Yes, I was down in the dumps. Yes, I was grieving hard. Still grieving now. And I had to go to therapy as well, because I was really struggling. I couldn't get myself to feel happy. I knew that was time for me to get help. But things that have happened in the last year, I believe that my mum couldn't have been there for them. We needed to go through them on our own. And that can seem like a crazy reframe of growth to happen. But in those sessions that I had with my therapist, we spoke heavily about my mum, me, my life, everything. And it opened up so many doors for me. In my mind, I released guilt that I was holding on to from my father's passing. I've been watching House of Dragons. That's a father. I digress. I was holding on to a lot of things, and it helped me to release. I don't think that if my mum had passed, I would have got therapy. Even though I know therapy is great, it's really good for people just in general, not when you're just going through a bad time. It's just good to have therapy in general. But yeah, that happened, and I do feel that a lot of things that have helped me grow in the last year couldn't have been when my mum was here, because I would have heavily relied on her more than I relied now more on my own instincts. So yes, I didn't want the Lord to take her, but I feel like once the clouds parted ways, I could see clearly that it was her time. I was able to then take some more steps, and I feel I've grown tremendously, and I'm in my fuck it era to just keep going, keep ploughing. Life's too short. Tomorrow's not promised to anyone. Like, do the damn thing. reframe your growth, reframe setbacks, reframe things to make it, it's not toxic positivity, it's learning from those situations. Then finally, release yourself from the shackles of a finished product. You're always going to be evolving, you're always going to be changing. I love your first thought won't be your last thought. Keep just pursuing life. Keep moving forward. But don't feel that it's not a race. You're not going to get to the end. The end is death, by the way, just to let you know. Sorry, you will get to the end, and the end is death. What do you want to look like when you pass away? What does that life look like? If you were on a cloud and you was looking down at your life, thinking, have I done what I said I was going to do, or what I set out to do? And if you are not going in that direction where you will look back in 30, 40 years time and you'll be happy, I'll give you a even morbid one. What would happen if you knew that you was going to die in 7 days? What would you do in these next 7 days? What would you do? And that's what I want to propose to you. I did have some homework for you, but I've just thought about that question. If you was going to die in the next 7 days, actually, let's make it. Let me ask you. Let's back it up. Okay, great. I'm going to do this instead for your homework this week. If you were going to die in 1 month's time, you know you've got 30 days. The timer has been set. From the time you've listened to this now, your timer has been set. In 30 days, you're going to die. You need to have lived a smidgen of your life. What would that look like in 1 month's time? What would you do in 1 month? And bearing in mind, yes, you know that you're going to die, but you can't blow all your mind. Let's not put any restrictions on it. You have got 30 days before you die. What are you going to do? That's what I want you to do. I want you to take that away. You've got 30 days. In 30 days, you're going to die. What would you do right now that would make you feel the most fulfilled? Make you feel that you have done the damn thing. And it could be the craziest thing. That I want you to go big. I want you to go ham. I want you to think about what is the craziest thing that you'll do in 1 month's time. But bearing in mind, am I going to ask you to do that thing in 1 month's time? Can you do it? No, I'm joking. It's all hypothetical. You've got 30 days until your life is... What are you going to do with your life in 30 days? Oh, I'm excited. Do that. That's what I'm going to do. That is your homework. 30 day. I've said it about 4 times. I don't need to repeat it. You're going to kill me. Do that homework. I'll put the question on the screen because I've not said it 10 million times. Think about what you would do in 1 month's time. And I want you to leave it down in the comments. What is that thing that you are going to do? That's going to be so fun. Yes. Leave it down in the comments below. I want to see that. Are you choosing you? Choose you. That's it. That's what I've got for you today. Step into your reclaim era. Have a growth mindset. Reframe change. Expect the unexpected. Stop thinking about the finished product. Just keep on going. Keep on evolving. Keep on we're not surviving. Keep on evolving. Keep your mind open to change. Embrace that change because you are the key to your life and creating the life that you want. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I hope you really enjoyed this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed the homework. I really want to see your comments. Answer the question. I'd love to know what your answer is. I'm actually going to go and think about what that thing's going to be for that month's time. And I might just do something even crazier, scarier, mad. Yes. Go do it. I love you. See you next week. Bye.